So I've been thinking about the Romanov family quite a lot over the last handful of months since I first became aware of them and their horrific unaliving. My thoughts on it are this. I don't really care how bad or brutal of a dictatorship, apparently, 300-year supposed unfair and or worse, I don't know all the details, monarchy, their family ruled Russia. I don't know the details of that, but I do know that, again, you will know them by their fruits. The people who unalived the Romanov family in the horrific way that it happened, and you can do some research on that if you're not aware of it. I wasn't aware of it until fairly recently. Greg Reese has a very good video on it. Lots of stuff on YouTube, lots of articles online. My point is, you will know them by their fruits. Who unalived the Romanov family, and why did they do it in such a horrific way? Right? I get if you want a regime change, if you want a government change, if you feel you've been smited by a government, or you feel whatever, but why the horrific way? Again, you will know them by their fruits. It's more concerning to me that the people who unalived them are still in our world doing whatever they're doing, right? I mean, let me know if you feel that same way in the comments section down below. I mean, is that something you think about? I certainly think about it. I question it. You know, what kind of a person or group of people in this case does something like that? You know, what kind of person or group of people wants to inflict harm on someone like that? And I also think about what happened to Jesus, or the story that happened to Jesus. Again, I question everything throughout history lately. I've gotten very close to Christianity over the last couple of years because I saw pure evil in the world during COVID times. Pure lies and deception in the world. I never saw it before. I always thought government was incompetent and kind of clownish, and I was like, wonder why they can't really solve problems very well. And then I realized during COVID a whole different perspective on government, and I was like, oh shit, that's interesting. I won't go into detail here, but let's just say I did a complete 180. Now I do not think they're incompetent or bozo-ish, and I'm mainly referring to the federal government just for clarity, although it does go down to state. The closer you get to where you're at, city, province, town, neighborhood, etc., the better, more responsive government gets. At the federal level, it's completely detached from boots on the ground people. That's been my opinion for 20 years, and even more so now. It's completely non-responsive. That's where you get taxation without representation. I mean, that's where that comes from. Yeah. There's my 2 cents. Again, let me know in the comments down below. But I think about that quite a bit. Again, not saying that I know whether that family was a good ruling family or a bad ruling family. My understanding is, and again, this is just where I'm at. If you know something I don't, please enlighten me. My understanding is that the Russian people feel like they wish they wouldn't have allowed that to happen to the Romanov family. You know what I'm saying? In that way, it's sick what happened to that family, from my understanding of it. If I have a correct understanding of it, taken to that place, unalived in a very torturous way. It's just weird. It's weird, and I don't think most people know about it. Maybe I was the one in the dark. I don't know. I think about that, and then I look in the world, and I put, it's all about connecting the dots, right? It's all about connecting the dots, and I start connecting dots, and I'm like, we've been fighting terrorists for 20 years heavy, since those buildings came down in early 2000s. And the world seems more dangerous than ever. Like, what gives? Benjamin Netanyahu said if we unalived Saddam Hussein, Middle East would be a safer place. It still looks like a complete shit show to me. I think Benjamin Netanyahu's time is drawing nigh as far as people getting behind him and the so-called state of Israel, the fake colonial state of Israel. I think they're on their way out. You know, there are some hardcore so-called Christians which still are believing the propaganda and lies. Many are waking up, I think. To me, it's perplexing, because here's what I think. I mean, it took me all of about 4 hours to come to the conclusion that Israel is a problem child in the world, created for nefarious means, by nefarious people. It took me all of about 4 hours. I don't know what other people are looking at. Heck, it took me all of about really 20 years to come to the conclusion the FDA is completely full of shit. And so I didn't have to think during COVID. I was like, you guys don't solve problems. You allow funky things in food, funky ingredients in food that are super unhealthy. So I didn't have to think about that COVID vaccine. But some people did some research and came to the conclusion that they needed it. You know, it doesn't compute for me. And then some people did that out of fear. And then I think there's another group of people that did it out of, obligation, or trying to be a good citizen and protect other people, because they were pushing that real hard. You know, it'd be really nice if we could get a pie chart of who did their research and made the decision to get it, who got it out of fear that something bad might happen to them, who got it out of a moral or ethical obligation to protect elderly and young people or susceptible people. That's what I think happened. I mean, therein slices the pie right there. But let me know what you think about the Romanov family, if you've been giving it some thought too over the last little while as people wake up. I appreciate you for watching. Leave me a thumbs up if you like this video. I'd love to have you as a subscriber as we talk about these things that are unraveling in the world, and try to arrive at the truth. Try to arrive at the truth. Thanks so much. Have an awesome day. Until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and successful. Bye-bye.